Requirements gathering should be done in a collaborative form of environment, generally either face-to-face meetings or virtual meetings. Notice that I said meetings. Almost every time I've worked on a project, no matter how small, there were multiple meetings. A face-to-face meeting being done in real time allows for faster feedback than if you do things over email, text, phone calls, etc. Meetings should include developers as well as other stakeholders. An agenda for that meeting should be sent out beforehand so that people can come prepared. Depending on the planned duration of the meeting and if you've met before, will often determine how detailed the agenda will be and how long in advance it needs to be sent. Now, I've got to meeting agendas just a few minutes before the meeting occurred. Needless to say, it was pretty useless. Likewise, if someone sends an agenda a month in advance, it's probably going to be forgotten about. So figure out what's the best time and place. And in many cases, that will depend upon your organization. The next step you're going to find is a facilitator should control the meeting to ensure it stays on track. This is especially true if it's a large meeting with lots of individuals. This person should not be a developer. Now, some will say that a customer can do this, but I prefer to see a more neutral third party play in this role. It may be from a management side, and one place we used to work, they were a completely different group of people. If you have a large meeting, you may find that having too many people is going to hinder the effectiveness of that meeting. Therefore, some companies have adopted the 2 pizza rule. Jeff Bezos of Amazon was notorious for this. And according to the rule, every meeting should be small enough that the attendees could be fed with 2 large pizzas. This allows for everyone to contribute and not have people just agreeing and going along. Now, I don't necessarily believe that this should be a hard and fast rule. Rather, you will occasionally sometimes need large meetings with everyone and then break up into smaller subgroups to get their information, coming back together to make sure that everyone's on the same page. When you get done with your requirements gathering, you need to have something that the developers can work with. Some of these examples might be a statement of need and feasibility. Feasibility just means, can we legitimately accomplish this project? Next, you might see a bounded statement of scope. That is, how big is the project supposed to be, and make sure it doesn't go outside of that. You'll get a list of customers, users, and stakeholders that participate in this request. You'll need a general description of the technical requirements, as well as a list of software requirements and usage scenarios. Within an agile development environment, we like to build user stories, a story built around a user requirement from the user's perspective. For example, a user can click on the print button and print the current document with all the supporting documents. Now, you might think, well, that's pretty obvious. And you might go, wait a second, what's a supporting document? And because you have that discrepancy, that's why that user story is important. You see, in some cases, if I'm just printing something from Word, I only want to print my current document. But if I'm working in a law office and I need to print out some court documents, and there might be a lot of supporting documents, I need to print all of that out. So it very much depends upon your application, and those stories will then be built out to help us build our technical specification so that we can get the project right for the user.